Welcome to today's Fireside Chat with AI. I'm John Roy, Managing Director here at Water Tower Research. Today, I'm joined by TR. He's a COO at AEye. And I should mention that AEye's safe harbor statement can be found on their website. So, TR, welcome. I didn't even attempt to pronounce your last name. I'll let you get it correct. So why don't you introduce yourself? You're the COO there. What's your background?
Um, sure, absolutely. Good to talk to you, John. So my name is TR Ramachandran. I'm the COO here at AEye. I actually joined AEye in late 2021 as Chief Product Officer and was appointed COO in late 2022. And my role essentially has three main facets, I would say. There's a product role, which is really product management, making sure that we're driving the right specs for the product to ensure good product market fit. There's an engineering part, which is making sure that we can build and deliver robust, high-performance product to our customers. And there's an operations part, which is all about supply chain, cost, reliability, quality, manufacturing, all those elements. Prior to AEye, I've been in LiDAR since 2017, so I have a fair amount of experience in this space. And prior to that, most of my career was in the semiconductor space. So I was at LSI, which is now called Broadcom, where I had many different roles, leadership roles over the years, helping the company scale a number of different business units. So that's my background.
Now, you came on board at a transition time for AEye, and it was when it was transitioning from an R&D company to a product company. What's that process look like, and where are you in the progress today?
Absolutely. So before I talk about the process, I do want to say one thing. The team here is fantastic. We have some of the top experts in the world in several areas, people with deep expertise in whether it's MEMS or laser or, pick the topic. We have a number of really great people here who've been instrumental in enabling us to make the transition that I'm just going to talk about. And if I were to talk about transition, AEye has had essentially two product lines, right? There's one product line which was focused more on non-automotive markets, and that's a product that we call the Foresight M60. And then there's a product or products that are focused more on the automotive side. So if I start with the non-automotive markets, industrial markets, really the transition that we've made in the last, I'd say, 2 years has been getting to the right performance, consistent performance, taking the product through a lot of validation, getting it qualified for production, and then ramping production with a major contract manufacturing partner, and shipping to a lot of customers. That's fantastic because it's not, having been in the industry, I can tell you, getting LiDARs, which are somewhat complicated technology, into volume production is not easy. And there are some unique things about the AEye product that makes it easier, which we can maybe talk about later. But this was one key transition. The other key transition is on the automotive side. We've had our reference design and a product that we built with a key tier 1 partner. That product, taking that from an early prototype phase, getting that into a mature B sample stage, shipping high performance LiDARs to a lot of OEM customers, focusing on reliability, working on getting the product to a high level of reliability, driving costs down, really qualifying a supply chain that was vetted by the tier 1 partner. I'd say these are some really meaningful accomplishments for the team in the last couple of years.
So what is AEye focused on from a product standpoint in 2024?
Yeah, the key focus, I would say, is getting our next generation product, which we call Foresight Flex, to market. I think we announced it in Q4, if I'm not mistaken. And it has a few key things that we're trying to accomplish. Number one, there's a big size shrink from our current generation to that next generation, something like 50%, maybe even higher. So why are we doing that? To make the product be able to fit anywhere in a vehicle. So it could be behind a windshield, could be on the roof, it could be in a grill, doesn't matter. This makes it really possible for us to engage with a wide variety of customers. And then the same product could later be used in a number of non-automotive markets in the future, right? The second thing, which is important as part of this, is we want to, of course, maintain, in some cases, improve performance, maintain our key differentiation, which is the software configurability. That's really a value add to our customers, software-based configurability of the product. We're going to continue our focus on cost down, but we're going to leverage the supply chain that already exists. So a lot of components are going to be carried over. There may be some minor changes, but really leveraging what we've already qualified. This will make it a lot easier for tier one partners to use the technology. So the cost that they'd have to incur to really deploy this product using our license is going to be much less, because a lot of the homework is already being done in the last 2 years. So they'll get a ton of benefits working with us on this next generation product.
So what are the most important really pain points, I guess is the way to put it, for automotive OEMs, and how are you fitting that into your product strategy?
So if I look at the overall market, and we are focused a lot on the passenger vehicle market, right? The OEMs are, if you look at ADAS, advanced driver assistance systems, they're focused a lot on improving both automation and safety, safety being a very key part. Now, as you look at how ADAS systems are evolving, they're going to be moving to a phase where these OEMs want to enable more automation for high-speed driving. So what that means is, a key pain point is, how do they deliver enhanced safety for high-speed driving? Existing sensor suites with radar and cameras are not sufficient. There are a number of real-life examples that things we encounter while we drive that need to be addressed. Small objects, pedestrians, bikes, lost cargo, especially at long range, because you're going at higher speed, which means your braking distance is longer. So you need to see further out. You need to see at high resolution. And for that, you need a high-performance long-range LiDAR like the AEye LiDAR. So that's one key point. The second thing that's important to OEMs is being able to easily integrate the sensor in their vehicle, which means that the size of the sensor matters, the power consumption matters, the software enablement, how configurable it is, can it be updated in the field, all of that matters, all of which we are addressing with our product line. And then, of course, cost and manufacturability are important to the OEMs, especially as they're looking to scale up to millions of vehicles over the next, say, 5-10 years. You want to get the cost down to something that's much more affordable, and the sensor needs to be really manufacturable so you can scale up. And so leveraging qualified components, using qualified supply chains, having a design that's modular, easy to manufacture, all of these are advantages. And that's how we're tackling the OEM pain points.
Now, earlier you mentioned the supply chain. Maybe we can talk about that for a second. Now, your model allows you to work with multiple tier ones. And you did set up a supply chain with Conti. Is that replicatable across other tier ones as you expand?
Yes, absolutely it is. And the reason is this one, if you look at the architecture of our product, it's very modular, which makes it easy in two ways for a tier one partner. First, each module can by itself be manufactured working with the contract manufacturer. And in our case, we usually have multiple sources for each module, right? So what that means is the tier ones, whom we typically introduce to these CMs, they can work directly with them. They can decide who they want to use as suppliers when they go into production. So there's a certain infrastructure at the component level that's already set up. On the other side, when you put all these components together, again, the modularity helps because then the assembly and the manufacturing of the LiDAR is very manufacturing friendly. So another thing that makes it easy for tier ones to use our product. And the third piece is that because we're using a qualified supply chain, we're using components that have been used in previous products, previous generation products. We've already spent a lot of effort driving costs down, and there'll be more of that in the coming year. And it's a vetted supply chain. Any tier ones who work with us, they're working with a proven supply chain, proven components, components that have been used before. So the risk for them is much lower. So these are the ways that it's not just the replicability, it's the lower risk for the tier ones to work with us.
So looking out, maybe 5 years from now, or for the next 5 years, I guess I should say, what are the biggest challenges you see for LiDAR, both from a product and from an industry standpoint?
Sure. I think the first one I would say, not necessarily in this order, but key things that are important is if you want to get into more and more vehicles, you really want to make the LiDAR more compact so that it's easier to integrate across a variety of models, nameplates, etc. So number one, you have to make the LiDAR more compact, which is what we're doing. The second thing, which I mentioned earlier, is you need to be able to support high-speed driving, which means that you need to get to ultra long range with high resolution, which is a key aspect, key differentiator for us for the AEye 1550 nanometer based product. The third thing that's important is you have to focus on the reliability and manufacturability of your technology. It's not sufficient that it be cool or it's high performance. You need to be able to build this in high volume with high quality. So having things like a modular architecture, components that are available from multiple sources, being able to make sure the components are qualified, all these things play into really solving for that challenge, which is important. And of course, cost is always important. So you always want to keep focus on driving costs down. And that's something, it's going to drive higher volume. So those are I'd say maybe the top things that I would think about.
Great. Well, it looks like we're about out of time, so we'll need to leave it there for today. TR, I appreciate your spending some time with me today and discussing with us what's going on at AEye. To learn more about AEye investors, you can either visit their website or visit our website at WTR, that's watertowerresearch.com. I want to thank everyone for joining in. So the views expressed in this fireside chat may not be necessarily reflecting of the views of Water Tower Research, LLC, and are provided for informational purposes only. The fireside chat may not be reproduced, distributed without written consent of Water Tower Research and should not be considered research nor recommendation. WTR is an investment relations firm, not a licensed broker, broker-dealer, market maker, investment banker, underwriter, or investment advisor. Additional disclaimers can be found at watertowerresearch.com.
Thank you, John. Good talking to you.